He's been allowing the government to tell the election fraud outside the closed library. Away from the entrance, off property. When I subsequently tried to...
My name is Julian. I'm here to speak in support of I'm here on behalf of our stakeholder, board chair, Honorable Giganticus, Brian, and other stakeholders, Tara, Larry, and Susanna Houghton, who are here with me. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to speak about why Texas Book Festival should benefit from the city's generous waiver program for the 2023 festival, which took place last November, and more importantly, why Texas Book Festival should...
I was trying to circle the numbers I signed up for.
I wanted to start by thanking council members Fuentes, Quadri, Ryan, and Allison Alter, council member Bella.
There's David Gray of the homeless czar. He gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to kill the homeless. He sits there and smiles like that. I want you to look at the smile on the sociopath's face. He thinks he's helping people by... There's about 50,000 people currently on the streets by the city's own estimates. That's secretly not telling you. And they got 2,000 units coming up in a couple years. They say they're the housing shortage when there's not. They're just a developer overage. They're letting these developers make high-end luxury condos, and they're not creating low-income housing. They're changing the words low-income and changing it to affordable, which means affordable for yuppies from California. So this guy's smiling right here, doing his little interview. He is a sociopath. He's got blood all over his hands. All the people that are swept and murdered on the street are his fault because he's in charge of that. He takes the money, and with ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility. He does zero to hold the police accountable. You saw him on a previous live stream last week at the church, Woodlawn Baptist. He said he's not responsible for police abuse while they're working for him. And he's not responsible for police abuse in general. The police are above the law, basically, because he allows it. It's cool. Your government works for you. Good thing you're not homeless. Good thing he's not homeless and his kids, because guess what would happen to them? They'd be dead. The city would kill them.
Underserved communities with access to books and an inspiring experience.
So there's homelessness measures on the ballot today. On the agenda for city council, there's environmental issues, and then there's people still their usual protests for Palestine. I'm signed up on, I don't know, 8 or 10 items probably to speak, but they're not allowing me in. They're not allowing me in the building, in the room. This guy Mike, who's a bully, the one that's going through that lady's purse for the second time in a row, he wears a mask to hide his identity, and he's the only one that does. It's not even on his nose. It's not even on his nose, so don't tell me it's for some kind of precaution. He's a bully. He's still here because the city doesn't do anything about bullies. They've already searched everybody here. There's no reason to research them. So I'm trying to get in to speak, and they won't let me in. And I'm checking with the city clerk who's moved himself without access. I just want to get the numbers I'm signed for. They're not answering? They're not at the desk? You think they're in there? They're up there? Should I call them? Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to this clown over here. This guy has been a bully for a long time. I can't believe he's still on the payroll. People have filed multiple complaints, so that's why I didn't want to deal with him. He looked at me, he gave me a dirty look for asking for this, like he told me to get this agenda from him. He gave me a dirty look and then hesitantly did it. Yeah. So they're saying sorry for their staff, but they're not sorry. Everyone's getting paid. So I'm signed up to speak. I don't know I don't know how to communicate with them.
Okay, if you can verify with the city clerk when you're speaking, we'll give you
They're not answering.
they should be up there. Reception.
That guy receptionist says he can't get a hold of
No,
them.
second floor. Yeah,
I can't go up there without access.
Yeah, you gotta call. Tell him to keep calling.
Oh, okay. Tell him to keep calling. You know if they've called Julian Reyes, Mike? You know if they've called Julian Reyes, Mike? Yeah. I like to be able to talk to the guy in the front there running it.
To fix you guys, this is brief today. Jump on the Week, Jump on It is an ongoing community program that we've been doing since 1997. And so we have Jump on the Week coming up, and one of our events are it's at Walter Elon Park, and we were approved by the park last year to extend the curfew to 11, but we found out about a month ago, a little bit over a month, that it now goes to the music office, and we had to get the sound extended for that. So I hope that everyone votes in favor of getting the extension for the community program on that. And also, we have the program of doing Jump on the Week that's going to take place on Monday.
We can continue to fund rappers.
It's going to take place on Monday, when we will be discussing the Black Embassy. And for those that are not familiar with the Black Embassy, it was part of a resolution that passed through council in 2021. We're still working and moving forward on that. So when I get a chance to finally see you, Mayor, I've been calling and texting. I finally got a call back last week, but definitely I would love to have you there,
as well as
so we can update the community on what we're doing and moving forward with the Black Embassy and to our new city manager. Thank you for accepting the invite for being there on Monday at Houston, Tennessee. We'll be having community panels. We'll be talking about what we see as a community and what we want to do is rebuilding the community, and most importantly, speaking on the update of the
Lies. It's called lies. He said that you have to keep calling.
Where the what is?
He told me to go up there, but then he said that you have to keep calling. So I don't know.
Oh, it's like in the room, so I have to wait until I get in there? Okay, thank you.
There's a situation where we have a destination location in Austin that brings Blacks back to the city, and we still have some culture here where people know that you're not just going.
I need to find out the number of items that I'm signed up for. My name's Julian Reyes.
Information about the resolution about what we're doing with the Black Embassy and Black House. I'll see you there on Monday there. We can correspond and move forward. So thank you for your time.
Lunch breaks are part of it.
10 a.m. It's 11 or 10:30 now. But I signed up for a bunch of items. Maybe 8 items, 10 items, and I need to know the numbers. And they won't let me in there to speak.
The only thing I can tell you is hang tight by the
I
monitor.
can't hear it. There's too much noise. It's too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in here, unfortunately. But that's the only solution I can offer you.
But that won't help me till I'm called. I need to know what numbers so I can be prepared. And I need to give a video to the guy up front, and that guy is not letting me in to go speak. So how am I going to get to go speak if he won't let me in?
He'll let you in as soon as your name is called.
Okay. He won't tell me if my name's been called. What if it's been called? What if I'm standing here for nothing? Yeah. All right. Well, if you get a hold of the clerk again, tell them to call my number. I'll end my live stream and talk to them. I'm sorry. It was on the form. It's 512. Yeah, all right. I stole your pen, by the way.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that another time.
I need a pen. My backpack's in the car. I'd have to go through screening again.
You can have that one.
Oh yeah, you can have this one, and I'll take that one. I'm stealing the other pen. All right, thank you.
Where am I drawing the page?
Oh, sorry. Y'all are in line, right? Yeah. Okay. Y'all are the smart ones.
Go to the march.
A lot of times, yeah.
Like at the tiny one we did. That was like
Mark, yeah.
yeah,
Heat.
down to Utimco and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there filming. Nice to meet you without the mask. I don't recognize anybody.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I got a lot of skin in the game. That guy right there was at a protest just a couple days ago in front of Whole Foods. That guy right there was protesting with y'all. Yeah, and he had another guy, or two guys. So three people from the streets joined y'all. And I recognize his face. I just don't.
I've met so many people recently.
I'm like a face person. I can't remember names. I can remember faces. So, what David Gray said was disingenuous around rehousing. What happens if people get put on the streets and they actually have house people? There's a whole apartment being evicted. I met another guy. Right now, there's a whole apartment that Austin Urban League, the nonprofit partner, is not paying, hasn't paid the bills. The management company got fired. Now the owners are evicting everybody because there's nobody paying bills. They've cut off. There's plenty of video I've released already. It's the city calling me. Not anymore. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna bypass this, hopefully. Yes.
You're needing to get in?
Yeah, I need to talk to ATX. I'm gonna give him a video.
He's getting called next. Okay. He's getting called next. So once you go in and you make your remarks, you have to come right back out because we're at capacity.
I'm signed up for all 3 of these consent agenda items.
Right. And so you're going to be called here shortly.
Okay, and then how do I get called back in?
You won't. You're going to speak on all of your items.
At once?
At once.
Okay.
So once you're done, you have to come back out because we're at capacity.
Developing a plan that will actually be a win-win-win. That is, the developers will win, but the community can win as well. The additional density in housing that can result in an area plan can be better for all the users. So I urge you to support item 170 as well. Any questions you have, I'll be glad to address. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Human.
Morning, Mayor and Council. My name is Alice Woods, and I serve as the Vice Chair of the Austin Housing Coalition. And on behalf of that coalition, I'm speaking in favor of item 115 today. We're a coalition of nonprofit organizations, income-restricted, affordable housing developers, housing and policy experts, and other businesses and individuals that support the Housing Coalition defines affordability as ensuring that residents do not pay more than 30% of their income on housing, and programmatically that housing be affordable for the spectrum of individuals and families, both renters and homeowners, who cannot afford market rate housing in Austin. We enthusiastically support the resolution under consideration and any programs or opportunities to make the diversity of housing options that will soon be available through the Home Initiative easily and proactively available to low and moderate income homeowners, helping them take advantage of the program and helping to address and prevent displacement. We also want to stress the need for investment and budget allocation toward these programs in addition to these policy changes. Thank you all very much for your continued work on this important issue.
Thank you.
Morning. What Alice said.
Good testimony.
Yes, sir. That's the day, I think. My name is David Courageous. I'm here to talk about item 115 and support the Home Initiative. I am with University Federal Credit Union, where I serve as the Corporate Counsel and Director of Compliance and Legal. Don't hold that against me, please. We have heard the call, and we want to help. And I'm speaking for not only U.S. profit institutions. We provide credit to those who cannot otherwise. This item specifically is why we're here. Not just here today, but it's why we were created in 1936. We want to empower our neighbors to achieve financial success and brighter futures. That is what we do every day, every credit union in Austin, throughout the country. We are committed to helping Austinites create generational wealth through home ownership, and more importantly, ownership retention. Some of you may know, but I'm a fifth generation Austinite. I currently live in District 8, but my entire family lives in District 3. I have no relatives that live there any longer. My grandparents being the last because they no longer afford to live in East Austin. We want to keep Austinites in their homes and help them take advantage of the opportunities created with the Home Initiative, not only for them today, but for families in the future. We want to leverage our roots in higher education to help create financial education resources. We have great partnerships with universities all across Central Texas, and we can provide those and leverage those partnerships to help the city of Austin, as universities should already be doing, so we're going to make sure that everything we can to help. We also want to provide affordable and responsible financing because it is absolutely key to protecting our neighbors, the better that we are currently enjoying. Really, I'm here today to thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Council. My name is Daniela Silva. I am with Workers Defense, and I'm here to speak in support of item 114. I would like to thank all of you for bringing this item forth, and I want to take this opportunity just to give a little bit of education for folks in the room who aren't familiar with the labor movement. But Texas remains the deadliest construction industry in the country, where a worker dies every 3 days. 60% of Texas construction workers report not having safety training. 1 in 5 workers get seriously injured on the job, requiring medical attention, yet only 40% of workers report that they have workers' compensation. Texas workers frequently labor in deadly heat without access to rest breaks and drinking water, putting them at a greater risk for accidents. 41% of workers report they don't receive rest breaks. Everything about our great city today is thanks to workers. Our iconic skyline, the strong economy, the roads, bridges, sidewalks, and public transit lines that connect us all, they are only made possible by the hardworking people in building trades. These folks deserve safe, dignified jobs that pay them enough not only to live, but thrive in the city that they are building. Better builder protections encompass safety training, a living wage, rest breaks, compliance monitoring, among other things, to make sure that we are not sacrificing the lives and livelihoods of hardworking Texans for the luxuries that we benefit from all throughout Austin. Without these protections, workers are forced to work in extreme temperatures with no break. Projects to hire local apprenticeship, folks from local apprenticeship programs, and at the pace that our city is growing, it's imperative that large construction projects play a role in encouraging and developing a highly skilled local workforce. So again, I thank you all for putting this on the agenda today.
My name is Mary Hale, and I serve on the board of Preservation Austin, and I chair its advocacy committee. PA exists to empower Austinites to shape a more inclusive, resilient, and meaningful community culture through preservation. We're here today in support of Councilmember Velasquez's resolution to ensure the home initiative is accessible to low and moderate income communities. As the only citywide nonprofit dedicated to preservation, we are fundamentally committed to preserving communities, and we've heard much today about people who have not been able to stay in their communities. We also recognize that council must clearly define resources, timelines, and accountability measures for these measures to succeed. As displacement continues to impact historic communities of color, particularly East Austin, council must act urgently to stem these historical ongoing harms. We ask council to adopt the following recommendations to ensure the resolution's success. Direct the city manager, and welcome to our city, to develop a detailed implementation plan, including specific actions, responsible parties, and expected outcomes. Allocate a specific budget to implement all aspects of the expanded home program. Implement clear progress indicators. Recommend that council also look at strengthening footprint, such as existing home land, with the city's anti-displacement office that outlines recommended policies, tools, and programs for preserving and stemming displacement. We hope that council and city staff will look to this report as a resource for additional solutions to mitigate the displacement of Austin's historic communities. Thank you so much for your time and service.
Julian Reyes, items 113, 115, and 116 for total 9 minutes.
All right, so I'm neutral on item 113, and I'm for 115. I'm against 116, and so let me give you my outline. I did have a video that I wanted to present, but we couldn't get it up in time, so I'm going to be speaking instead. I don't have anything prepared. As far as the environment and development, that's why we have the flooding we have. We know that the city of Austin had a secret agreement with Lake Austin wealthy residents to keep them from flooding, and that's what flooded Onion Creek and the rest of Austin, which the city at the time, which was under a different city council, but you guys are still responsible, did eminent domain on multiple people's homes because they were flooded to protect the rich. What we have is a problem with flooding and development, and stopping development is the answer to that rather than looking at flooding. Save Mystery Creek and Free Palestine. On item 115, we have a video. No video is available for me today, but I'll bring it in the afternoon on other non-consent agendas. When we talk about land development and making housing available for middle income and affordable, those are the wrong people. We actually have people on the street. I see multiple people's, I see a POW flag, I see Army, Air Force, Marines, aerospace, everything on the wall, and we say that we support veterans for Memorial Day, but in memoriam, y'all have destroyed people's lives and murdered people on the streets that are veterans, using your police in the illicit sweeps of people's emergency items, including before this last storm. My friends have personally died. I just talked to one of my friends that lives downtown. He's been on downtown for years, and he has no legs. I would ask City Council, his legs just got removed from the last freeze. His legs froze off. They cut his legs off at, I forget which hospital it was. He said it was a nice hospital, and there was maggots in his legs. They said that's the only thing that saved his life, because those maggots were actually performing medicine on dead tissues. This is what you guys, how you're supporting the veterans. You have flags, but no actual caring. And I've been talking to the City Council about this for years, the illicit sweeps of people's stuff. It's a violation of the 4th Amendment, 14th Amendment, the 8th Amendment, and it's in several current and past case laws, federal case laws. You guys need to get with the program. Stop displacing my family. Leave them alone. The other thing is when we talk about rapid rehousing and things like that, it's a lie. There are people, that's a shelter. What you guys are doing is, like, you guys don't have any lived experience. You talk to people who have sold out to you. You've got agents working within our communities, messing up my groups and other groups. What happens is people are knocked out. There was a man that was knocked out by the security staff at Southbridge. They knocked him out because he has schizophrenia, and they triggered him out over his mask in the lobby. The security dragged him out by his feet, and APD arrested him with no medical. This is what y'all are doing. Tell me this is helping people. You guys, Austin's supposed to have a big heart, but I'm not seeing it. I haven't been seeing it. The kinds of things you guys ignore are felonies. They're felonious, and you guys basically have become the enemy of the people because you refuse to listen to people like me. Instead, you put people like me in jail repeatedly for speaking the truth. If the truth is so controversial up here, and if we only get 2 minutes to speak, how can you justify taking that paycheck in good faith and call yourself a good person? How can you smile without being a sociopath or a psychopath? I worry about you guys. I really do worry about Cheeto. No, I really worry about you guys. You guys are sold out. It's obvious. At least Natasha Harper Madison was honest enough to tell us that the developers basically paid y'all, and that y'all are doing what the developers want. So I know you're going to vote on however you want. You're not really listening to us, like Natasha said, and I'm cool with that too. Mackenzie Kelly, that blood is on your hands too. You pushed this agenda in Prop B, or Prop A, whatever the heck it is. Y'all have so many propositions against the poor, and in the name of housing people, what Save Austin now said they're doing, they're suing the city for not killing enough of us on the street. You're literally killing us. There's another apartment complex up on North Lamar. So there's an abandoned property they call Abandoned. And so it's been abandoned for years. People were living in there. The city, I talked to city people. They said, good, I hope they all go to jail. I've got it on live stream. Your city employees are out there. A veteran saying, I hope the veterans go to jail too. Stuff that they're not responsible for. They're being blamed for every bad thing that happens. And if someone goes and does something, should we blame y'all? Like, that's not fair. If there's an individual breaking a law, that's one thing. But don't criminalize and demonize all of us as a boogeyman, because the poor are not keeping rich white people down in the city. The rich and you are keeping white people down in the city. It's not the poor. So it's that code switching and that blaming the victim type thing that y'all are doing, and that hate speech has led to hate crimes. When y'all sit there and let people, like at that last meeting at the Woodlawn Baptist Church, where people were saying, let people die of overdose, don't give them Narcan. They were just calling for death. It was a bunch of white middle class people that y'all want to help with different initiatives. While the lower class, you're underestimating the underdog. And it's just rabid. The rabid hate that y'all have allowed, and the media has allowed, frankly, KXAN and others, Fox News and others, that and even the Chronicle has done hit pieces against the homeless and put out hate speech. No wonder they're burning our tents down. No wonder they're doing drive-by shootings. No wonder your residents are falling in line with what y'all say. So y'all are supposed to be leading us and not being silent. You've been silent too long on this issue. I suggest that y'all avoid any more harm to veterans, women, people of color, marginalized community, trans, gay community that are on the streets. I suggest, and people that have medical needs. An addiction is a medical need. A mental health is a mental health need. It's not an illness. You don't have to demonize this. You don't have to talk about how we have voices in our heads or whatever. Not everybody's like that. There's some people, but not everybody. And those some people, for instance, there's an elder black woman that sits there very quietly. She's very sweet. She won't take money. She doesn't do drugs. She doesn't do alcohol. She does nothing but sit across the street from the arch. And there's no place for her. She's been sitting there for years in the snow, in the heat, all the time. She's, whatever her mental issues are or her boundaries, she won't even take a bottle of water from me. I just talk and say hi and pass her by. But the city is responsible for her. And there's so many people like her that the city has demonized and said she's on drugs, she's doing crimes, she's an alcoholic, she has voices in her head. You know what? I want to know when the last time all y'all had a drug test and a medical check, because y'all are mental. Anyways, I'll see you this afternoon. Y'all know how to get a hold of me.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. My name is Julian, and I serve as the Policy Director for Workers' Defense. We are a member-led organization organized to alongside immigrant workers to build power, demand respect, and justice and dignity for our communities. I'm here to speak on behalf of our members in support of item 114.
I'm with the Challenger Street newspaper. I've been with them for 12 years, so that's why I know everything, because everyone comes to me and tells me everything.
You mind, what's your name? I'd like to look up your article.
Julian Reyes. I have a YouTube channel. There's a lot of live streams of what I'm talking about. They know. They have people watch me, but they don't care. It's LizzardoGiganticus with 2 Z's. I'll give you anything. Yeah. Just don't use the QR code, because the QR code's no good. It was a scam. So it's expired. Thank you. I can't believe I did that off the cuff. I didn't have anything prepared. I wasn't even prepared. They said I have to leave after I speak, so I have to leave. Julian? Yeah. Nice to meet you. So you want to talk out here? Before they come and jack me up? They threatened me so many times here. Especially this clown right here.
So, Julian, yes, you're from Austin?
I've been here a long time. My people were here 10,000 years before colonization. So yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that Austin's on my land.
Definitely. And what specifically were you speaking about today?
So I was trying to talk about the environment. Hey. Did you see that shit?
No, what happened?
They play it over here. They clap. I just had to off the cuff it. I couldn't get my video on there. I was speaking about the environment. I was speaking about where they spend their money, and speaking about how they're killing the city. Like every week, almost every day, the city goes after people like you that are poor, and they fuck them up. People of color, women, disabled people, they fucking steal everything they have and try to kill them. Well, he's with the city. So I gave a speech about.
I work in the mayor's office with the mayor and the council members.
You do? Well, the mayor hasn't reached out to me, and I've been talking about this. I talked to Leffingwell about this. You know that previous mayor. I talked to Adler about this. I've talked to all of them in public venues, and they've ignored me. So you need to stop the sweeps. Number one, you need to preserve human life, and it's unconstitutional what the city's doing. I can't go to your house and steal your stuff. You can't go to his house and steal his stuff. You know what I mean? That you have to have a warrant or a lien. And what the city's making the police do is illegal, and the city, listen. So I got a wanted poster out on the police. Yeah, they know, we know. So they've got a guy, Officer Cummings, he's a district rep for APD. He's smiley, he's black, he's a cop, and he'll cut your tent open while you're asleep with a knife, grab you by the leg. This has happened to multiple people around the city that come to me as a reporter. Grab you by the leg, pull you out of your tent, And sometimes one guy under Cesar Chavez here, right here down this road, this white guy named, well, I'm not going to tell you his name. Anyways.
What was that officer's name?
Cummings. C-U-M-M-I.
You know his first name?
I don't have it with me, but he's attacked me too. Like, that's the thing, that these are the same cops that won't let me film them doing that. And why don't they want me to do that? Because it's illegal what y'all are doing.
And you don't like how they're going inside people's tents and like messing.
They don't
with
have a
them?
warrant. They don't, under the Fourth Amendment, you can't do that. You need a warrant. You need a real reason. So they're beating. So Cummings grabbed a guy over here under his tent on Cesar Chavez and he had his 2 chihuahuas with him, 2 little chihuahuas, right? And he dragged them, picked him up, slammed him around, busted his face open, and arrested him so they could steal his stuff. Tell me you think that's legal. And this is going on because here's what happens. I'm going to be honest with you because I feel like you might understand. There's a thing called the Stanford prison experiments and the Stanford effect. If you make me you know how people be power tripping when you make a manager? Like maybe the mayor? Well, so that happens with cops too, with every cop.
What was the experiment?
It's a Stanford prison experiment. So what it does is it creates sociopaths, and when you don't watch over them, you're actually creating a sociopath. Because if I told you, hey man, go clean those guys, all those guys over there, they're all breaking the law. They're all breaking the law. Go take all their shit. And then you did that for a while, you would kind of, what they do is they like to smash stuff now. They like to yell at people, like to cuss at people. They're doing it abusively because it's mentally affecting the people that the city is asking to do it. It's mentally affecting them, but it's really traumatizing people and making them overdose and kill themselves. So we've got 300 to 500 people dying on the streets every year. A lot of them are veterans, and it barely makes any news, yet we keep pushing forward with these agendas and development and all this shit. All that shit needs to stop. The other thing is the environment. I'm an environmental scientist. So the environment cannot sustain. So have you noticed this week when all the storms passed us?
Yeah.
You know what that is, right? It's the heat island effect. But Dallas-Fort Worth, they're still getting it. So apparently our heat index is higher than theirs. So we've got problems with development. We don't need to be building anything. And this lack of housing and lack of money is a farce. The city is a trillionaire. They got trillions of dollars in property. At any time they could put a bond out, they could put they could get a reverse mortgage, they could do anything they want because they're landowners, right? And there's housing just literally spread out in Southwest Austin. There's condos that are all empty. But we've made it so that only rich white people from out of town can get them. So when you ask them, am I from Austin? The city doesn't care if you're from Austin. The city wants people to come here. And I got Mayor Adler, I got video of him saying, well, we can't stop people from coming here. But literally, the city will give tax write-offs to the domain for millions of dollars in tax write-offs, and they don't even uphold their bargain to create park space. So, like, it's not that we can't stop people, it's we're actually paying them to do it. We've incentivized gentrification.
Are you looking for like more resources or like anything specific to help the people on Cesar Chavez? Because I know those people. I used to be over there, not personally. Like,
where?
Like, you know, the homeless people in the Austin.
Yeah, I've been homeless, like on the streets here. They shot my dog. Police shot my dog while I was homeless. Really? So that's what they do. Yeah, they shoot people's dogs. I'm not the only one. For barking, because they were on private property, because they can, because they could get away with it. That's why they did it. I filed a lawsuit and won in federal court. The city's already settled with me, and the city isn't upholding its agreements, its federal agreements with me. So the city shot 21 dogs that year. Now they might shoot 5, but they won't tell me. They won't tell me how many dogs under public information. Me and the public information office, we're at odds. And so, like, this is why we have, the only thing so y'all are, the city, the mayor, the city council, especially Mackenzie Kelly, who's a known Nazi. You can look her up on Reddit. Y'all should have already researched her. She hangs out with Nazis, the Proud Boys, militia groups. She's got lots of pictures with her arm around them. She's known. So she put the anti-homeless campaign. That's what she was the one that did it for Save Austin Now.
So what do you think would make this situation better?
I think that there's only 2 things. When the city's not doing what it's, because I don't think the mayor's going to change anything. So I think that 2 things have to happen for the people. We have to sue y'all in federal court, and while that's going on, we have to shut y'all down. We have to literally shut down the government because we have to have a protest. Because
shut down the government.
I was camped out here for months. We almost shut this place down. And that's what has to happen because y'all don't respond. If y'all responded and the courts don't respond fast, it's going to take 3-4 years.
So you think if the government responded better, you wouldn't want to like shut them down if they would do their job right?
Martin Luther King Jr., the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he said that riot is the language of the unheard. So I'm not being heard. We're not being heard. So yeah, that's what he said. I didn't say it, he said it. you know? And a righteous man won't look on. He said something like, I'm going to paraphrase it. He said a righteous man won't just sit by being neutral looking on while people are being oppressed. That a righteous man can't do that because you lose all moral authority.
Well, realistically, I don't think the government would ever shut down. But what do you think that they could do better to fix this situation?
Stop the sweeps. Number one, stop the sweeps. Stop the sweeps. Have dialogue with me and my group, and we'll start finding things that are better. But a lot of groups that the city council's been working with are also the groups that the city has narcs working in, so it's not real. None of that's real. They're all yes men. I'm talking Texas Vocal. I've had problems with all those groups. That's why I have my own groups now.
Are you part of his group? Do you know this man?
Well, I know him. So we actually met. So there was an officer that wrongfully arrested him, and then he ended up filming him the next night. It was on a pedicab. And then this same officer, I was witnessing this officer do some illegal shit. He was roughing up these black guys.
You know the officer's name?
Spees.
I have a restraining order against him.
We're trying to have a restraining order.
I'm trying to have a restraining order.
It's not that easy. See, there's really not much we can do under the law. We have to go outside the law to get anything done.
So at this point,
what is his name again?
Huh? Spees. You want to know the case? It's going to be Timothy S. Yeah. Spees. No, Spees with an S.
Oh, it's S.
And so Spees, if you follow up how many times he's been reported, how many times, I don't know if he's been sued, but I know he's going to be sued.
Yeah, he's going to be sued. I'll make sure of that.
So right now, I had filed a restraining order against Spees and APD because I won a case against Spees in actually municipal court.
Yeah.
And the judge deemed it unconstitutional.
That's the one I filmed.
And so I think we're going to try to change the ordinance because what it is an ordinance under the city of Austin that is
failure to obey a lawful order.
Yeah, failure to obey a lawful order. How the judge explained it, he's like a cop can tell you, hey, take your hat off and sit down. Well, it's not illegal to stand up and have a hat on, correct? And so what happens is they give you that ticket. I requested a public defender because it said it's a criminal offense. So it puts the burden of proof on the defendant, which is
to prove it's a lawful order or not,
which is a violation of constitutional rights, a violation of civil rights, because it's the burden of proof is on the prosecution side, the way it's set up.
And so he compared it to other municipalities of similar size, and they had better worded their things. So ours was not properly worded, but he said there's a separation between the judicial and legislature. So the police can still enforce that law even if it's unconstitutional. The city can still have it on the books even if it's unconstitutional, and then we'll have to sue to get it off the books. You see what I'm saying? We always have to sue.
You're talking about the failure to
obey a lawful order. It's not compliant with the law, and it stays on the books, and the judge can't do shit about it.
Yeah, I know that's a big one, especially in the hood. A failure to obey a lawful order.
Yeah, it's just the thing they can throw out.
It's something they use to abuse your rights.
Yeah.
And so there's so few people that stand up for their rights. Think about how much revenue the city of Austin is generating.
I know.
Keeping that on the books.
I see it. I work in the budget.
And all those judges and prosecutors, they're all on the money too. So the only people not getting paid is Tim and I.
So check this out. That same officer, I beat him right in March.
You beat him in court.
I beat him in court. No, 6 days later, that same officer retaliates because I beat him in court. So
he goes after his job.
No, well, check this out.
No.
The first time he comes after me on my pedicab again.
Oh, you're right.
You need to stop. You're being detained.
And I filmed that too.
Let me see your ID. And I was like, hold on, get your supervisor up here. This is retaliation, victimless or formative crime. That's how I initially got it dismissed too, is because I filed a motion to dismiss based on retaliation, victimless or formative crime. His supervisor comes up, takes him off to the side. He's like, you're free to go. I was like, no, I want to file harassment charges. The supervisor laughs. He's like, no, you're breaking the law. I was like, no, I'm not. Then give me a ticket because I know my rights.
And that was Villarreal, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was that Asian-looking dude.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
Okay, so and then he contacts ground transportation, tries to get my pedicab permit revoked. And so then so check this out. So the owner of the company that I leased my cab from is telling me, he's like, what did you do? They want to have a meeting with both of us. And so I haven't been able to work since this has happened downtown.
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, he has to go. I might be downtown filming. He's like, I'm in wherever city. He's in another city.
I mean, at this point, I'm not safe because if y'all aren't doing anything about it, then I
There's
had to
no
file- I
police
had to
accountability.
So I had to file a restraining order, then have a meeting with ground transportation. The ground transportation he's like, Speeds didn't contact me. I don't have anything to do with this. I'm just going to show you the law. He's like, we've never had an issue with you, so you know.
They make up laws with him. So they said. So I got the video. It's all on live stream. They said, well, it might have been. I don't remember. They said he was inside the barricade, and they said there's a sign that says no pedicabers inside the barricade. That's not what it says. It says they've closed all regular traffic, and there's other pedicabers, but they target him. Now he's got a backstory.
You gotta see the video.
But he's got a backstory.
You got the video?
Yeah, it's online, all on my channel. So he's got. He was filming them when they stopped him one day on a pedicab, and they beat him up. Then
Not
after
a pedicab. I was with a friend, and we ran out of gas.
Oh, okay.
And the cops were up and like, "Yo, we're involved in hit run." I was like, "No." And they're like, "Okay, let me see your ID," and then they start getting all crazy. And I was like, pulled out my phone and started recording. Man, I got the shit beat out.
And then what happens after?
Or no?
No.
And then what happens after that?
So I broke 5 of my ribs. They were kneeing in my head.
Give me a play-by-play.
And then, I don't.
Like when they pulled
I
you
still
out.
haven't been able to see the video evidence.
They're still hiding the video evidence.
This is back in 2020, so I'm still gonna have to sue to get the video
And then
evidence.
what happened after that incident?
Then I went to central booking, and then central booking, I was like, hey, I want to talk to the surgeon. I want to file charges against these officers. And then the officers beat me up inside central booking too.
What?
Fucking fractured my wrist. I swear to God. I was like, hey, I need medical attention. They broke my ribs. It's like I'm having a hard time breathing.
Did you get medical attention
No,
with the boot?
They denied me medical attention on
Ridiculous.
the police reports. They said that they brought an EMS. I've already went down to EMS, pulled the records. EMS never showed up at all because they beat me unconscious. So I didn't know what had happened. Like I was like,
And that could happen to you or
you know,
anybody.
I just woke up at central booking.
But then after you got out of jail, you have a whole bunch of stuff they did to you. Tell them real quick.
This is. I mean, they filed 3 charges against me. You ever heard of bargaining the badge? There's a KXAN news article called "Bargaining the Badge." It's a common practice with the blue wall of silence all across the state. So what they'll do to try to cover up their crimes, you can't file a federal suit if you have criminal charges against you.
Yeah,
so
while they're
what they
open.
do is they
And you can't plea out, or you can't file because you're guilty. Then you can't do that. You gotta get a dismissal or not
Get
guilty.
a dismissal or win in trial.
Yeah, that's it.
And so they dragged this out for 1 year and 10 months, so I couldn't file a federal suit. And then simultaneously, on June 6th of 2021, I contacted Victim Services. I was like, hey, I want to file charges against these officers for police brutality. I talked to Brent Ryan, which is the investigator, Brent Ryan. And so I've actually made multiple complaints to him and several other people to the DA's office. Jose Garza, I'm a white guy. You know, it's not politically motivated. I mean, think about it. All the convictions that he's done.
Jose Garza sucks.
For police brutality, it's all political. You got to think about this. It's got to be something that's going to give him an edge politically. You know, and so, but anyway, after I filed that stuff against him on June 6th, within 12 days, I had a court order and took my kid away.
Then what? Then they took his house.
Dude,
They've taken everything from this guy.
Dude, they've taken my house.
And these are the cops that they're protecting in there. Some of the same ones that come in here and
it's because you filed a suit. Yeah,
it's because you complain.
I complain.
You're not allowed to complain.
So you got to understand, it's not just the cops.
It's the court. It's the PIO.
It's the Blue Wall of Silence, or the domestic terrorist organization.
It's the whole city.
So back in the 1800s, you had the Ku Klux Klan. So we're not.
Right.
I'm not calling ABD Ku Klux Klan. I'm just giving you an example. Ku Klux Klan was everything. They had infiltrated the cops, the judges, the courts, the lawyers,
businesses,
the politicians,
everything,
right? The Blue Wall of Silence has done the same thing. They've even given themselves qualified immunity.
The Blue Wall of Silence?
Blue Wall of Silence.
A Blue Wall of Silence. Is that just?
Every time I write up a motion, I write it up as the domestic terrorist organization, the Blue Wall of Silence.
But is that like a Blue Wall of Silence? That's like a law?
It's like the protection of the police. It's like a pattern and practice.
Yeah. It'd be like the lower version of the deep state.
Jeez.
Blue Wall of Silence.
I got a lot of debts to tell you about too from the city. So that guy David Gray that was just here for homeless services, I got him on video. You know, the director of homeless services.
Yeah, I know David.
He's a sociopath. So I got him on video saying that the police beating people up at sweeps isn't his problem. You see what I'm talking about? Blue wall of silence. Everyone protects the police, and these cops are doing real bad things. I know about it. He knows about it, but city council doesn't want to hear it.
They take public safety very serious. They very much support.
Well, they also too.
Yeah. But that's not keeping us safe.
They paid out $10 million in fucking legal fees in the last couple of years or something like that. So they also too here recently, like I filed that stuff against Speeds, and they turned around and tried to get the same judge that denied me due process. Oh, dude. With the custody of my kid, they denied me the right to be able to go to court. They denied me the right to be able to call in a court. You know, so they were. You got to understand, they were using Zoom as a process to deprive due process. Where I have the emails where I contacted the court multiple times to provide a computer, provide access, because at this point I was locked out of my house. Whatever, I have a computer.
Lost his child.
Closed.
3 years he's lost his child. He's the only parent.
I'm the only living parent. My daughter's mother died in 2020. So,
and he's having a fight, a big old case without a lawyer.
Just because you filed a complaint?
It started when he was filming, just because he got pulled over by APD. That's where it started.
Yeah. We weren't even pulled over. We're on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah, we were already
on
on
the side of the road over down off the frontage road by Rainy. So we got somebody to go get gas. We're just waiting for his buddy to get back to get gas.
So you run out of gas, you get fucked over. And then who do you talk to? Nobody. Nobody was talking to you, really, except for you.
I had to hire an attorney. They revoked my bonds. They did all kinds of crazy shit. You have no idea.
And
no idea.
And so when we tell the city about this stuff, they give us the runaround. They go, so when you have a government with multiple departments and multiple different governments, they go, oh, go over there. And it's always a dead end. There's nobody you can talk to. I've talked to city council ad nauseum about these issues. They've never engaged me once. One time Leffingwell sent Mike, the security, the head of APD here, that guy.
I haven't met Mike yet.
Yeah, he came out and got my contact information. And that was it. That was the end of that. So that was the closest I ever got to getting any engagement from the city on anything. So, does Chaz Moore ever tell you about this type of stuff, like Austin Justice Coalition? No. None of these organizations are real. They're all just trying to get paid. They're not real. They're not really in the game. They're selling out black lives. They're selling out brown lives. That's what they do, because they're what's called controlled opposition.
It's Black Lives Matter. One side of every 4 years.
Yeah, it's an industrial complex. It's like the homeless industrial.
One side of every 4 years.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, it's just a sales pitch. When I hear politicians and stuff, it's just a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have access to City Legal?
City Legal? What is that?
So if you said you work in the mayor's office?
Yeah.
City Legal's a lawyer.
Under this building.
They're under Ann Morgan.
City Legal?
Yeah, City Legal Department. There's all the lawyers.
Oh, yeah, that's on the 4th floor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I talk to those guys sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what specifically?
Are you able to pass this on to, when you go out there and say, I need to talk to Isabel. So I sent her an email yesterday, but if she wants to talk to me directly, she can call me.
I don't know. She's probably not going to, she's going to be like, who are you and who's this guy? And if I give it to her, honestly, she's probably not going to care.
Because they're above us. Because they're above us.
No, mostly because I don't know her. If I knew her, I would have passed it on and she probably would have cared. But if I come to her, she's going to...
Well, maybe the mayor can hand it to her.
Right.
They sit next to each other. Here's my contact. Don't use this QR code. There's my contact, my phone number, everything. Get a hold of me.
I'm sorry about that, though, man.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
So I've been helping him with his legal stuff, and he's been watching. We court watch each other, and I was in court today. That's why I'm dressed up. Otherwise, I'll probably dress like him. But I don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, there's real stuff. Contact me. Let me know what we can do moving forward, because otherwise, you're going to see people shutting this place down. You're going to see civil unrest like George Floyd. Because this can only last so long, okay? Because they're killing people. Like 400 or 500 people a year getting killed on the streets in Austin of homeless people alone, while they say they care. The city doesn't care. David Gray gets like $200,000 a year. He doesn't care. Do you make $200,000 a year?
I haven't checked his salary.
Do you make $200,000?
Oh, do I? No.
So you see the difference, right? And then the other thing that's going to happen is civil suits and class actions. And I mean, there's going to happen no matter what y'all do at this point, because there's been so many people harmed. So definitely get a hold of me and we can mitigate some of this stuff.
I definitely will. Are you around here often? Like
on occasion, I come and film the protest. Today I'm speaking on a bunch of items. because I got a bunch of emails. But since some of the people that send me the emails, I don't work with those groups. You see, like that guy got me arrested. Lieutenant Jusula arrested me for use of the sidewalk. And I was in court today. He was trying to show up for a jury trial day.
This guy in the blue?
Yeah, that guy. It's not Jusula? It looks like Jusula to me. They all look alike. They all fucking look alike.
I know the APD lawyer, though.
Oh, yeah?
I know APD's lawyer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're crooked, too. Yeah, Doug O'Connell and the other one that always get them off murders. They got off with the Mike Ramos murder. I was there in the court. The jury was asleep. The head juror, this big, heavy-set redheaded dude, asleep almost the whole time. He was the worst one asleep. And nobody did anything. And then the state's witnesses, the cops lied. This one cop, she gets up there and she says, when I was born, I already had a uniform on. You hear that one?
No.
And
oh my God, out of an objection.
Yeah.
I would have crossed.
But he didn't. But he didn't because it's so crooked. The courts are so crooked. How are you going to have the same DA that prosecutes us prosecute police officers when they work with police officers? It's not going to happen.
Crazy.
It is crazy. We live in a dystopian hellscape. That's because everyone's got their blinders on, the monkeys, and I can't do that shit.
I was just up there maybe 20 minutes ago, and one of the people were talking, one of the mayor's members who works up there with us, when I was listening to some lady talk, she was kind of crying, telling her story, and the guy, he looked at me, he looked at her, and he said, that's the worst part of our democracy right there.
People crying.
People talking.
Oh, people talking. Yeah, exactly. So
like,
it's a closed system. There's all these blockades, the Roberts rules, everything is. They won't even let us in the door to speak. I had to go through all sorts of shit to get in there, and I didn't get my video on. But I get to come in this afternoon, so I need to email them the video. But it's all meant to just go for the developers who have paid everybody off. And that's the real truth. Is it's not a democracy. We're living in a corporatocracy.
Facts.
Unfortunately, because that's what Natasha Harper Madison said. She said, y'all can talk all you want on the home initiative, but I've already made up my mind. She said it, but nobody else will be honest. At least she was honest.
I plan to do things like that, when I get up. I am 20, and I am an intern. I'm trying to infiltrate from the inside out because I know all of these protests. I know the guys don't care.
Yeah, nobody
they
cares.
do not care at all.
We're talking about homelessness, and they're just worried about what they're having in the back for lunch off our money.
That's very true. They're worried about lunch. I know, because I'm up there with those people.
I know. I've seen it. I've been coming here for years. But yeah, you can get a hold of me anytime, and we can have a off-the-record conversation, or we can have we can have it with the mayor. I really don't think the mayor gives a shit. I think that guy, he's shut down Liberty Lunch, and my musician friends are real mad about it. Yeah, he's a pro-developer politician.
He definitely is.
Yeah. So was Adler, though. Adler was an eminent domain lawyer. So, it's really corrupt, man. I hope you can survive. It's like a snowflake in the desert. You're going to melt. There's so much politics.
I'll do whatever I have to,
Yeah.
When you look at it, a lot of it's all money.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. I'm from Del Valley. Most constituents it's a Democratic area, right? And I'm an independent, but
me too.
If you look at the area, I don't understand why people still vote Democrat over there or Republican. It doesn't matter.
Look, Leffingwell's mad. He's yelling at somebody. He likes to point and yell like Trump.
It's a 6A school district.
He is mad.
Yeah.
Mayor's mad. Yeah, there's a food desert.
There's only 1 or 2 buses that go out that way.
To Del Valley?
Yeah, Del Valley.
But there's a jail.
There's a jail.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've been over there.
They
I've been
put
there many
Tesla.
times. That's the other thing. APD's arrested me over 20 times.
And I remember this.
Leaving press.
They put 2
covering
toll
these
roads.
suites.
No, they put 3 toll roads.
Yeah.
In through our territory. Oh, and the what was it? They put the racetrack out there. So you have 130. What is it? 71A or whatever toll road. They have 45. That's all running through Del Valley. So instead of improving the roads that were already there, which they promised for decades out there.
They put in paid roads. You have to pay to get on.
You have to pay to go anywhere.
And does that help poor people? No.
Think about this, so say if this is the river, I lived in a little town called Garfield, but they would send our kids to Hornsby, which means you had to go across the river. The only way across the river was the toll road. So for parents to take or pick up their kids, have to go to the toll road twice
a day. No. That's a tax. I mean, that's a tax right there.
It's the poorest side of town. It's where all the people that were from.
You've been to Del Valle.
It's where all the people that are born and raised from the east side and south side
got
pushed out. All the brown, black families, all the lower income families, all got pushed out to that area.
And then they built a big ass airport, which probably eminent domain a bunch of them too.
Yeah,
and the parking lots out there are huge. So all the houses have been destroyed. And like, but then, are you from Austin? The city council doesn't matter if you're from Austin. And the city council doesn't matter if you're from this land before Austin.
Travis County doesn't either. You got to remember they work in tandem. So even though they're technically two separate corporations, they're two similar corporations.
Hi.
Good, Alexis.
Timothy.
Nice to meet you.
Julian.
Hi, Julian. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's so glad to meet you.
You hungry?
Yeah, but I'm thinking about go home and eat. I got to study.
Y'all got sandwiches? I want a sandwich. It's all funny, right? Just give me my text.
What's your name again?
It is like that, man.
Yeah, I know.
These guys are for real.
I know.
I'm Timothy. Yeah,
definitely.
Julian, you got my card. I like your tattoos, man.
Thanks,
cool.
man.
All right, well, keep your head up, man, or down, or whatever it is.
Stay focused, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep in mind what you guys are saying, though.
Yeah, try to get me in touch with Watson.
I'll try, man.
Yeah.
That guy, he barely wants to get in touch with me.
Yeah, that's okay.
It'd be like that.
He lives in my city. You just got to remember that. You got to remember he's in my city and I'm not in his. All right, take care. Enjoy your lunch. I'll walk around, I guess. I don't know what. There's about to be a protest. So I'm gonna film that.
There's going to be a protest here at noon, right?
I gotta set up my camera stuff. See, that's the line to get in.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? You feel? So you taking off?
Maybe here in a minute.
All right.
I was kind of curious. I wanted to ask this photographer, like, hey, what do you think about the Fox 7 camera guy getting arrested?
I don't even know what an agency. You have to kind of look at the camera, or sometimes they have a badge. But they have like if they lose their camera, it's got like get it back. That's $100 grand.
Chris, I like that.
Yeah, I was live streaming them.
Are you still with the
Challenger?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm more independent than that now. I've grown past that. But I'm a stringer, so that means I work for everybody. Yeah, there's going to be a protest. Ask him what he thinks. I'll bet they don't sue, because Fox is so pro-cop and pro-government. I don't think they're going to sue. No, I don't even think they'll file a complaint. I think that the lawyer and the prosecutor will talk and it'll get dismissed, and that'll be that. Do you really think the police are going to prosecute Fox News when Fox News does so much for them to get them refunded?
I think they would, because Fox News has the money to sue them.
Yeah, but unfortunately they're not adversarial. That's why I don't shake hands with cops. I keep it fully adversarial. The government and us in these litigations, we're adversarial.
Yeah, this is interesting, but I have school tonight. I got a 3 o'clock appointment with Zoom. I got to